Hey there, everybody. Good evening. Damon Gonzalez from Latinbox Sports. We are delighted to be back another night with the Slip Punches Show. We're here tonight. We have a good show lined up in front of us. A young man fighting from 135 to 140. Real tough young guy. Just started his career last year as a pro. We're looking forward to bringing him on the air. Um, again, he's a great kid. We're super excited to talk to him, to talk about his journey, see what's going on, and what have you. Let's bring the kid on board. Without further ado, Jusiyah Shirley's going to join us on the show. The kid is in the building.
How's it going?
Champ, how's it going?
Really good, really good.
Good, good, good. Last year, I was very fortunate. I was shooting a boxing event in Plant City, Florida, and I got to see you in your pro debut, get in the ring and
Yeah,
execute and do work, and that was a very very exciting night for you and your team,
yeah.
uh, going into the pro ranks. Talk about what the most you remember. I mean, it was a quick fight. I mean, but everything you remember from that day on in the beginning of this great journey that we're about to talk about and get into.
Yeah, so um, it was kind of hard because at the beginning of my career, it was really hard to find like opponents. I think I tried to fight about like 3 times, and my opponent just kept pulling out to fight me, pulling out to fight me. So I was fortunate enough to link up with ProBox, and they put me on a card just to see what I was capable of doing, and the rest is history. Now I'm signed to them. Shout out to ProBox Promotions, and we've been taking over since.
Now I'll tell you that's again we're definitely gonna shoot there and get into that. But you come from Orlando, Florida, man. You out there in the East Coast doing your thing. Big shout out to Lopez Gym. You
Yeah,
train at Lopez Gym, and let's talk about family. Lopez
yeah,
Lopez family is sincerely a family. We
yeah,
we adore them.
yeah. He's like,
We know them for a lot of years, and how great it is to be a part of that camp.
it's super great. Lopez is like a father figure to me. He helps me out with more than just boxing, just coaching me through life and help. I haven't had somebody help me as much as I had him help me before. So it's different having somebody like that wants you to win. Sometimes, and you want to win.
So you're 20 years old. How old were you when you first put on the gloves and you started boxing?
14. I've been fighting like my whole life because I was into martial arts and stuff before boxing, but 14 when I first like decided like boxing is what I want to do.
And what made you decide that? Was there something you saw on TV? Was there something you saw live?
Um, my older brother, he used to box a lot with his friends in the garage, just playing around there. He had joined the boxing gym before, but just playing around, being in the gym, and then he had unfortunately he had I just missed it, so I started putting on the gloves, and I just fell in love with it ever since.
So, kid, you have what, three, four fights now?
3 fights, 3-0, 3 knockouts.
You have three fights. We're looking at a total of 2 minutes and 41 seconds of ring time in just those three fights. All the opponents you've knocked out. Actually, your second opponent, you went 4 rounds, so you got a little working. How they
Yeah.
feel to get some working in the pro level?
It was I actually really appreciated it because it made me think because a lot of times when you comparing yourself to the pro level, like everybody they want to be like the top people in the pros right now, like Javante Davis or Charlo, and they want to get the knockout. So at the beginning, I kind of found myself looking for the knockout a lot, and it made me slow down. Once I got to like the second, third round, it made me slow down and really have to dissect my opponent and really think, bring out my abilities that I know I have, but just in front of people and in front of a pro crowd.
I said this to a fighter the other day on an interview, and I pretty much say the same to you as well. When you're in the ring, I mean, you really, to me, shooting as a photographer ringside, shooting your fights, you really appears like you definitely been doing this a very long time, and you have it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's talk about Pro Box. Listen, congratulations. You've signed with Gary Jonas, which is an amazing person. He's doing so much for fighters.
Yes.
I'd like you to give me just like a real quick. This is really cool. A quick rundown. Let's talk about the stable. Okay, let's talk about your teammates. Listen. You got some great teammates.
Yes.
All in all of you in general are some great young talented fighters.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start. Let's start with Najee Lopez. What are your thoughts on Najee Lopez?
He's a beast, man. He's really. I see what he's doing, and he kind of inspires me. Look at to see where he came from. We're about this. I think he's 3-0 with 3 knockouts, or 4-0 with 4 knockouts. He just fought last weekend. So it's dope seeing him come up like from the amateurs to the pros as well as I know Marcus Valle is coming up, Dominic Valle is coming up. Shout out to them. I like seeing the young talent come up with me along the way.
Young fighter Dixon went in the ring and he executed very well. What are your thoughts of Dixon?
He looks really good, real sharp.
And again, you know, the Valle brothers, you know, they come in and they do what they do. They perform very well.
Definitely.
What are your thoughts of the Valles?
Mm-hmm. They definitely put on a show. If you ever get a chance to catch them fight, you won't be disappointed.
And the same goes for you, champ. You know, kid, this is a great opportunity to fight on the pro box and what have you, and you're pretty content and happy where you're at as far as a fighter and stuff like that. And you know it's going to get better and better and better. There's no rush, of course.
Of course, and I wouldn't say content. I'm always trying to strive for better. I'm really looking just to be able to put on a show, but also with those shows, I'm looking for experience and to be able to learn and grow in the pro ring.
So pretty much, how's that feel for you? I mean, it doesn't matter who they put in front of you. You're gonna do your job.
For me, yeah. I mean, it took me a little bit to get used to wearing like 8-ounce gloves, and because at first I would find myself missing shots in the beginning of my pro career, and that was what kind of threw me off. Because in like, let's say I'm sparring or in amateur fights, I wouldn't miss. So I had to find my timing again. But once I got used to the gloves and used to being in the ring, then everything just came along the way.
And definitely I see that, because for a young man to step in, step out, step back in, and throw the body shots that you throw, you execute upstairs and downstairs.
Yes,
so
sir.
there's no levels of one-dimensional fighting with you. You're a fighter that you do different things, and how comfortable you feel working, and of course listening to your corner.
I feel super comfortable. I know if shout out to Lopez, I know if he's in my corner, I don't think anybody can beat me.
That's great, man. Talk a little bit, expand a little more about that, because that chemistry is so important, and it's great for young other fighters, boys and girls that listen in. They hear this, because you know it's important to have that chemistry. Talk about that chemistry with Mr. Lopez.
Yeah, he's like a father figure to me. So I know he'll never steer me in the wrong direction. And also, ever since I've met him, he's just been a boxing encyclopedia. Everything. He's so smart. So everything is dissected. Like there's a reason for every movement in the ring. So I know if he sees something that I can't see, he's gonna tell me. My last fight, I started off. I was headhunting a little bit, and I started going to the body around the first round, at the end of the first round. And then I got back to the corner, and all he had to tell me was keep going to the body, and I ended up getting him out in the beginning of the second round. So he knows.
Awesome. That's awesome, and it was a great fight. I mean, you gave me an opportunity to send you photos. First fight, I didn't have that opportunity. Second fight, I did. Third fight, it's kind of you learn your lesson. So what happens is some photographers ringside already have in our brain that we have to burst the photos first minute of the fight, because most likely the opponents could possibly be out in a minute, you know. So we try to get what we can out of it, you know, to get some shots of you and stuff like that.
Thank you.
So talk a little bit more about, you know, everything that gels around you. You know, you now you're fighting on the pro level, and a lot of people, they see you and they're like, yo, that's the kid, man. And you know, it's a good look, man. Talk about that look, man, because again, it's what you love to do.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's different. I don't get too caught up in it because I know like I haven't really done anything in the pros yet besides GoPro and keep an undefeated record. But it's pretty cool, like having fans come up to me, having them want to take pictures with me. But I keep a level head. I still have a lot more goals to accomplish.
Kid, that's awesome to hear, and it's good that it seems you're well grounded when it comes to that, and that's very important. Now, I apologize. The last show they just had, I didn't get a chance to say hi to you. I was so caught up working the photography and stuff like that. But I want to ask you, how crazy? You're at the show, you're in your backyard, you're at Pro Box, but now you look to the right and you're shaking hands of Roy Jones, Antonio Tarver, Juan
Yes.
Manuel Marquez. These guys are there and they're in the building, and just give me, as a fighter to a fighter, looking at these legends and even having words with them. How amazing was that for you as a younger generation fighter to see these legends?
It's almost a dream come true because I remember being around like 12, 13 years old. I could only imagine being an amateur, going to amateur fights. I had no amateur fights. Being able to be next to legends like Roy Jones and Antonio Tarver, Juan Manuel Marquez it's crazy. I never really. I mean, I seen this far, but now that it's actually happening, is different. I'm nothing but thankful.
So, I mean, we're looking at, and again, we don't really stay that long live on the air with athletes because training camps and what have you. But you're back in the ring on the 25th of
Yes,
this month, and we're super excited and looking forward to your fight. But the funny thing, and I say the funny thing because again, Pro Box is about levels,
yeah,
and they've been able to put this platform on the map, which you're gonna enter the ring, and it's kind of like weird. It's like, oh wow, I'm like in an HBO setting. I mean, I got all these legends watching me fight. Paulie Malignaggi, which we know, Paulie's Paulie. He's gonna bring it. He's not gonna sugarcoat nothing. So, you know, after the fight, you'll get to listen to what they're saying about you,
yeah.
which is really super cool. I mean, if you think about it and what have you, which we know, of course, the focus is the focus of you doing your job.
Mm-hmm.
But what are your thoughts again? For having such a platform around you, and it's just so exciting.
Yeah, it is really exciting. I actually was on YouTube the other day. And I was watching the Pro Box fights, and I was like, "Oh, like it's gonna be me. Like my next fight, I'm gonna be like crazy." Cause I remember I watch fights every night before I go to sleep. Watching me up there is just it's crazy to me. It's I don't think it's fully hit me all the way.
Well, kids, definitely a dream come true, and that that should be for every fighter, every boxer, male and female, that steps in that ring and does their job and what have you. So, is there an opponent set for the fight coming up?
Not yet. We're looking for an opponent. I still have to get in contact with my manager Millie, but they're looking for a step up just because I've been backing down for a step up opponent, step up competition.
From my understanding, I believe they're looking at a your first six rounder. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
What are your thoughts? I mean, of course, work in the gym, you work very hard, and walk us through that too, because again, you don't just show up and jump rope and leave. Man,
Yeah,
you grind in that gym.
yeah. We
Sure.
really out of work. I've been used. You don't even spar 3 minute rounds. We usually spar 4 or 5 minute rounds. Um, 10 rounds a lot of times, but just I'm pretty used to it. I'm not really. I don't really care like that, so excited just to get in the ring more and get more experience.
That's great. Kid, give a shout out to all your followers. I always ask the fighters to take a moment and do that. And
Thank
that's important because man, it's so many people that support you. There's a lot of people that are like, yo, who's this young man? So
you.
it's a good look. People gotta tune in. They gotta tune in the Pro Box and watch these great talented fighters come
Yes.
out and do their thing. So kindly, take the floor and give a shout out to everybody.
I like to thank all my fans, everybody that's tuned in, that comes to the fight or watching the fight, type of attention. Thank you to Lopez. Thank you to Millie. Thank you to Boxing Promotions. Shout out to Gary Jonas and Mark. And just tune in and be ready.
Win, lose, or draw, no matter what, you'll be ready to go. Correct?
Of course.
In the big picture, you ever sit back and think about, man, I want to do something. I want to make a foundation. Is there something to your heart that tugs on you? Something that you think about, maybe you want to get involved with sometime down the line in your career?
Yes, I actually want to. My grandma passed away not too long ago, but She used to have like a foster home for kids. I actually do make it to that level of being like Mayweather. Then I would a whole facility just for like foster kids, have it kind of like a rec center where they could just have fun and not, be in the streets, negative things, have them occupied with positive energy.
That's awesome, man. That's beautiful, man. We appreciate it, champ. We appreciate you taking your time, coming on the show with us, and we really hope to have you come back and what have you. So here's another question that I asked the other day to somebody. I asked you the same question. The bell's about to ring. You're in the blue corner. On the red corner, the other side is is Jusiyah Kid Shirley. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do to beat Jusiyah Kid Shirley? What are you gonna do? I mean, what is it in your mind you think has to take to beat that kid?
You gotta punch like a giant.
That's what I'm talking about.
Giant or just be smarter. That's tough.
Kid, listen, for your age, it's such a rich thing for the younger generation of the sport to be in the sport, the pro level, at this time. There's so many young men and women that are young in the sport, and again, just names on top of my head. Um, Vito Melanecki Jr. I had him on my show yesterday. Evan Holyfield, Xander Zayas, and the list goes on and on and on and on with the younger generation of boxing that's so rich, and you can see that boxing's not going nowhere.
No, I'm really excited. I feel like we're breaking away from that era where he was running everything. I'm starting to see a lot of good talent, and I'm excited for the future of boxing right now.
Definitely, because the future looks very bright, man. I mean, super bright, and it's great because, again, we see what's happening, and it's so much fun to watch.
Yeah,
because a lot of the fighters like yourself, when the bell rings and you're in the ring, man, you fight like a warrior.
Yeah, a lot of them have really good killer instinct. It's almost like you can't blink. You can't go to get sold or nothing. You just got to watch the fight.
With just this week, there's been a couple of announcements. Errol Spence and Ugis, and then you have Canelo and Bivol. So many different big announcements. Triple G. What are your thoughts of the big stages? Is there any fighters in the bigger stages in the sport that you look at them and like, man, yeah, this guy right here he's legit? I mean, is there anybody I'm not sure if you follow or you're just down with what they do, man. You like the way they perform in the ring.
I like a lot of the new. I wouldn't say new talent. They're kind of older now, but like Gervonta, Devin Haney, and Charlo. I really like what they're doing.
That's awesome. That's definitely awesome, man. Out of them three, I'm gonna tell you right now, I put Tank right on the top of the list, man. That's just me.
My favorite.
That's just he's a kid that when the light switch turns on, it turns on, and it's hard to turn off.
Yeah.
So again, we thank you for your time. We appreciate you coming on your show. Any last thoughts or comments before you get back in the ring? How can people follow you on your Instagram, your social network?
Follow me at Kid from the O on Instagram, and just tune in. It's right.
Champ, we appreciate it, kid, man. Thank you for coming aboard, and we're gonna have you back, right?
Of course.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. We appreciate you. We thank you. Keep on punching. Slip Punches Show. Subscribe to our channel, everybody that's listening in to watch this interview. If you missed it, Damon Gonzalez. We're with the kid. Kid, we'll talk to you very soon. I'll see you ringside in a couple of weeks, okay? All right, champ. Take care.
Take care.
Thank you, everybody, once again for tuning into the Slip Punches Show. What a great young man. We appreciate him very much. It was great having him on, talking to everybody and what have you. So we're looking forward to see him back in the ring in a couple of weeks. Damon Gonzalez, we are out, and we will be seeing you very, very soon. Keep on punching, everybody. Bye-bye.